gets less presents.
No, that actually is not true. So Jen, what does being born on Christmas mean to JC?
It's not like it doesn't have a definite answer.
Yeah, that has an answer in my book.
I mean, JC, John Collins is Jesus Christ.
JC thinks he walks on water. But we all know that all he really ever does is make a big splash. Well, I guess there's no full explanation.
JC's got the cameo.
All right. I'll do it without the microphone. All right, so it's also no secret that JC loves baseball. So what's JC thinking when he takes you to a baseball game on a 90-degree day on July 4th?
His autograph.
His cam.
No idea. Well, we all feel sorry for you because it's JC's idea of a hot date with fireworks after. All right. JC also loves football. So what will happen this year when the Redskins play Dallas, and what does it say about your relationship?
Cowboys.
I'll probably throw another chair across the garage.
You can gloat, and there's nothing he can do because he knows there's no way in hell his team's going to win this year. All right, so let's talk a little bit more about sports. What is concussion number 1, knee surgery number 1, concussion number 2, and knee surgeries 2 and 3? Tell us about JC.
He's already straight. He's not a delicate person.
Don't let him on ladders because he won't admit it, but he takes after his dad in more ways than one. All right.
Everybody knows that story.
It's a few months after 9/11. We are in Atlanta on the top floor of the Peachtree Center. There's an Arabic man with a backpack at the bar who takes 2 shots and begins to chant. JC says, "I'm out of here." He gets up, leaves lunch, goes back to the first floor, leaves me with the check upstairs. And Caroline. Finally come downstairs. JC has now convinced himself that he's seen the same man come and go and change clothes. He then makes me go find security so they can clear the Peachtree Center. What's the moral of this story?
See something, say something.
We went back. There you go. We went back 2 years ago.
What's the moral of the story, John?
So you and me need to talk because he takes after his mother in more ways than one, too. All right. Let's go back to sports for a second. You're not doing very well, Jen.
Yes, you are. I already lost one of the questions, so I'm not going to try and answer the rest of them.
All right, it's JC's senior year. He commits to Davidson. Then he decides he's going to UVA so he can play baseball. What was happening here?
Brilliant. Costume money.
Huh? What?
He said he wanted to meet me.
Finally, we got an answer. It was God guiding JC so he could meet that special girl that he was meant to marry. Okay, so now we're living in Abington. We called JC on a beautiful fall college football day to see what he's doing. He tells us he's at the state fair. Well, we asked him if he's watching football, and he says no. He's at the state fair with Jen and her parents.
Aww.
What did we learn?
Redskins still suck.
We know that JC has to be hopelessly in love, and he's found the girl that he's going to marry, because if we ever tried to get him to go to the state fair, he would have flat out told us we were crazy. All right, so as we went back to find pictures of JC for the video, we were reminded that he always was a playful child with a big smile. who love to have fun. What do the childhood pictures tell you what marriage will be like?
That hair.
So he'll be a wonderful husband who will bring humor to your lives and always keep you smiling. All right, and back to when JC was born. He came into this world quite unexpectedly, a little more than 2 months early, fighting to survive. The nurses gave him his nickname, excuse me, because they said he was a miracle boy. What 3 things does this tell us? So 1, he's always been a special person. 2, he's full of surprises. And 3, he's determined and will never give up trying to make a good life for the 2 of you.
Aww.
All right. So JC and Jen, we could not be more thrilled for the both of you. JC, as your parents, we can't be prouder of you. And Jen, we can't be more thrilled to have you join our family. We knew that this relationship was special from the first time that we met Jen. We met her at the parents' formal, and JC was so anxious for us to tell us what we thought of Jen. Had asked JC lots of questions before about dances, and he was, oh, well, no, I wanted to dance. So we knew this relationship was special because he was so worried about what we thought. It's been a joy to watch your relationship grow. You're a beautiful young woman. If I may embarrass you for just a moment. I told Jen real early in their relationship, I said, you remind me of Kate Middleton with your striking good
Yes.
What I especially like about Jen is the woman in control, and she's the only one that I know that can actually keep JC in line.
Stand up now.
So we're looking forward to the wedding. We're looking forward to watching the 2 of you in your lives together and as you start your new life. Our wish for you is that the love you have for each other will only grow stronger. Life won't always be easy, but always draw strength from this day, from your love of each other, and from the support and love of your friends and family here today. So please raise your glasses with me as we congratulate the bride and groom.
So I came over that night and JC was talking to Jen and he wouldn't say a word though. So after like 5 or 10 minutes, Jen chimes in with like, okay, I'm Jen, I'm sorry, you're probably a sister, but nice to meet you. JC like wouldn't say a word the whole time. He was so nervous, gave me a hug, obviously trying to impress her. Anyways, we knew at that point that Jen was in control. So we knew we liked her, so keep him in line, Anyways, so the past 22 years I've had the joy of growing up with JC. I was always called JC's sister, like coaches, teachers, whoever. Always JC's sister, and it drove me crazy. I complained about it forever.
I'm with you. It's good.
John's brother. But I learned it was an honor. I guess 5 years later, I learned it was an honor. I've loved it since then.
Thanks.
Although I complained about it all the time. But growing up, I always wanted to be just like JC. So I learned to be a fan of the same sports teams as him. Last night was pretty painful. I would go out back and play on the pitching machine with him. He would put it on like full speed and aim it at me the whole time. Anyways, he actually was a great role model. I always looked up to him and wanted to be just like him. School, sports, whatever it was, I always wanted to be JC's little sister. So thank you, I owe a lot to you. And although we fought and you drove me crazy, and you pretty much still drive me crazy, I always know you'll be the first one there for me when I need it. Phone call away all the time, and I realize how proud I am to be your little sister. So people ask me, do you have a sibling? And I always answer with yes. And I'm so proud to tell about you and excited to tell about you. And to Jen, I couldn't imagine anyone else to marry my big brother. I'm so excited to have you as a sister-in-law. And I remember when he called me asking about the engagement and the whole proposal story that I wrote to you by email. I was so excited and couldn't contain it. So I'm happy to have you as a sister. The rest of our family, we're all excited to have you. So anyways, cheers to my big brother and my new sister-in-law. Couldn't be prouder to have my best friend and my new sister-in-law.
Between in-laws and outlaws.
20 years in jail.
Yeah, outlaws are wanted. I just had to get that in. All right.
Nice job. I'm kind of nervous now. Okay, so I'm lucky enough to have been with these two lovebirds since the very beginning. I introduced them. I know. So Jenn over here, she and I were inseparable. Like literally, we would not do anything without each other. We wouldn't even eat meals without each other. It was kind of ridiculous. And I met this guy over here at Fidel Beach Formal. Yes. So he must have charmed me with his beer pong skills because after that, his beer pong skills. Oh, I beat him. It's okay.
What's that?
He's not that
What's
good.
that?
He's not that good. Because after that, I invited him to my hi-fi parents' formal. It was platonic, of course. I had a long-distance boyfriend at the time. He didn't charm me that much, don't worry. So a little while later, I was walking with Jenn in the streets, and we ran into JC. And me and JC say, oh, hey, how are you doing? And literally the second we left, he would not stop texting me about my roommate and how much he wanted to go on a date with her. Literally non-stop texting about her. So he said, Lindsay, you really, really have to be smooth about this. You need to, go about this in a very roundabout way. So I said, hey, Jenn, here, look at my phone. So I was very, very smooth about it, of course. But that is how they met, and obviously they are perfect for each other. And really, I'm very happy for you both, and you both mean a lot.
Y'all don't know me. I know a bunch of people in here, but I've known JC since probably middle school when he was trying to steal my starting quarterback job, but that's beside the point. We've grown as friends through time, through high school, through college, and obviously here now. And I couldn't be more appreciative of who JC is and who he is as a friend, but also, our families have gotten so close over time. So JC is like a brother to me, and always will be to both John and I. And so as we've kind of developed our relationship, and he's kind of been the goofy brother with John and I. We give him a hard time, but he's always there, always willing to say, well, let me tell you. So, and one of the things that really kind of describes JC and kind of how we are as friends and whatnot. It happened to be a couple years, or probably my junior year of high school. It was my birthday. We were playing Tucker, and we spoke of the concussions and the knee injuries and things like that. And I'm sorry, because that was probably my fault. There are three phrases that kind of describe JC's and I's relationship, and that's line 23 and Cheerios. And so you kind of think of these and like, what are these? And so I was the punter at the time. I went ahead and gave him the quarterback job, and he came over to me. It happened to be about the third quarter, and he came over to me. I was the lonely punter, so who wanted to talk to me? And he was like, Eric, remember line 23 in Cheerios? Oh, okay, that's not a problem. That's pretty easy, actually. And so about 10 minutes later, he came over to me and was like, what were those words again? Line 23 in Cheerios? I see him proceed to march right over to the trainer proudly and say, line 23 in Cheerios. You're good, you can go back in the game. So here he goes back in the game, and JC's running around doing his thing, getting sacked like he normally does. And he gets tackled on the ground, and here goes his head into the ground, and he comes and long story short, we end up getting on the bus to go back home to Henrico High School, and here's JC eating a bus seat. And I sit down next to someone, and they're like, Eric, what is wrong with JC? It's just my brother. Just understand that's what he does. And so ever since from then, I mean, he's a goofball. We love him, and he's always one of those people that we can have around and really cares for who you are, and it's something that will translate to y'all's marriage. And it excites me to see it because this man is wonderful, and you are as well. So, cheers to JC.
Okay. So first of all, congratulations to Jenn and JC. So happy to be here and celebrating with you two. You two have always been a perfect match for each other. So I was thinking through the first time I met Jennifer. It was the fall of second year, and we had both joined DZ. During Big Sis Week, we attended an event around grounds, going to various UVA landmarks. My first impression of you was that you were up for anything and you were absolutely hilarious, and we clicked from that moment on. So tonight I wanted to tell an embarrassing story about Jenn. The problem with Jenn is that she's way too responsible. So I don't have too many inappropriate stories to tell about her because she is, after all, Mama Jenn. Although I do recall a specific story where she wasn't as caring, shall we say, as the usual Mama Jenn. We had a party before a date function at which JC was in attendance. At this party, JC had a little too much fun and managed to pass out in the middle of the floor of the Delta Zeta house. Now, instead of taking care of him, she walked around to every room telling everyone and broadcasting that JC was asleep and everyone should go and see. So Jenn, I would ask just one thing of you. Even though you're getting married, please never change. I know I have a friend for life in you, and promise me that we will always continue to have a fun together. So, cheers to you guys.
So for anyone I haven't had the chance or the pleasure to meet, hopefully we can take care of that in the next couple of days. But my name's John Thornton. That was my brother before. We'll be, starring in the show tomorrow. On the side.
Right? John's brother?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. That was John's brother who spoke earlier. This is John. So just quickly a little bit about myself, and some people who know me would say, of course, that's how you started. But for the last 5 years, I've been a professional kicker in the NFL. Oh wait, absolutely none of that is true. Because when I was in high school, trying to kick for Henrico High School, every time we got close to kicking, he took a 15-yard sack, and I had to punt instead. So I never actually got an opportunity to showcase any of those skills. Now I work in a cubicle. There's obviously a lot of stories. I think the pictures did a nice job of kind of representing, JC and his personality in terms of how fun it is, how kind of easy it is to make fun of. Like, it would be so easy to just start doing that right now, but it's like such a free shot that I feel like I'm just gonna pass on it. Actually, it's actually the thing about JC that's pretty spectacular is that he can actually really, really surprise you. And it's a rare moment and hilarious just thinking about it, obviously, Caroline. But JC was in my wedding, and my younger brother Eric was the best man in my wedding. And Eric and I are absolutely best friends. And it has more to do to actually being friends than to being brothers. And I think for a long time our relationship was just brothers. Your kind of obligation. And JC kind of fit. And when we met, JC fit right in between the two of us. He was a couple years younger than me and a year older than Eric. And I think kind of when I look back on that time when we first kind of met and started to get to know each other, I don't know how good of friends we would have been if it wasn't for you. And the fact that you have the ability to make brothers best friends says something about how you treat family and think about family. So I can't wait to see that continue. I can't wait to see a big family come from. Let's But I'm really excited to be here and share it with you. I'm really excited to see what happens, Jen. I'm so happy that you can hopefully bring out those rare times more often than normal. But I'm really excited. So cheers to you guys. And to the live audience.
Yeah, exactly. But thank you very much. None of this would be possible without you. So can't go any further without doing that. For those of you who don't know us, my name is Matt Gangard, and this is Stephen Locatelli. We're kind of the 1, 2, 3 with JC. If anybody saw us at college, they probably saw the other two somewhere nearby doing something stupid. So.
Yep.
Yeah.
Do I start the story? Alright. So I think JC and I were just becoming friends. It was fall. I think it was the first time we played intramurals together. I didn't realize how awesome an athlete JC was, but he was like,
Thanks,
yeah.
Locke.
He's like, yeah, I play quarterback, but I'm fast too, so I'm gonna play wide receiver. And I was like, you're kind of a big dude. But of course he was pretty fast, so he's playing wide receiver. It's midway through the game. He goes out for a big pass and kind of lays out and falls on the ground, and I'm just like, catch the ball, man. And he's still laying on the ground. And he's still laying on the ground, and then the game stops and everything slows down. I'm like, I think I'm his best friend here, so I gotta go over there and check him out. So I go over and check him out, and I didn't know history, I didn't know about the concussion, and so I was like, yeah, okay, the EMT's here, let's go through the procedures. And so they're strapping him to like the board or whatever. He's lying on the ground, and he just goes,
No. I'm gonna stop you right there. I'm gonna jump in for where I came into the story. So, later. It's better coming in later.
Oh, okay.
So I get a text from Steven saying, "Meet me at the hospital. JC's at the hospital." That's it. No discussion. No. Hey,
Yeah.
this is what happened. That's all I get.
And so
No.
No. This is before. You're messing up the
So I show up at the hospital. I see.
No. I still got a better one.
Steven's standing next to the gurney. JC's lying out, big smile on his face, looking lost as hell.
Hold on. There's another part.
I know I'm sitting on the part because you're right. Yeah.
Okay.
And he looks at me. I'm a concerned best friend's thinking, okay, go through the procedures. Think, is he all right? I'm thinking like a good mom, like, okay, IQ, SAT scores are good. Done with that, GPA, fine. The first thing he says to me, and it alleviates all my fears. He looks at me, don't tell my mom.
No, that's what I was gonna say.
I know.
When he's getting
Funny thing is, he didn't tell his mom.
So JC's
Matt.
we're laying on the IM fields, and JC's getting strapped up, and he's like, "Don't tell my parents," and I'm like, "I got you, man. I won't say anything."
He actually didn't say anything.
I didn't say anything. I was like, "I got you. We're friends now."
So needless to say, I call Mr. Poma. He's less than pleased. Like, not a concerned dad at this point. Like, are you serious? What happened? I was like, I am sports. He's like, yeah. So they're rushing down. We go back to attending to JC. I think you had to leave for a test or something. Probably not.
It's nighttime.
Yeah, it's getting to midnight by this point.
Test, Sports Center.
And I see JC looking at his phone a bunch, and he's got this confused look on his face. And I say, "What's going on, buddy?" He goes, "Who's this person that keeps texting me?" I go, "Let me see the phone." And the name Jenn pops up, and they had just met maybe a week prior. So amnesia, probably not working at this point. And so for a second, I will admit, I thought this could be fun. This could be fun to mess with him a little bit. But the better part of me took control, and I said, "Oh, it's just a girl, you've been talking to for the past week." And he kind of smiles, that JC like half smile, like smirk. You've all seen it. Yeah. And he says, "Do I like her?" Again, I thought to myself, this could be fun. But I said, the better part took a hold, and I said, Yeah, man, you like her. So I like to think I have a little influence on the fact that you guys are here tonight. So, because he may have never remembered the first week of your relationship. Anything else?
And to many more folks.
I'll get on a more serious.
Hold on, he's not done yet.
On a more serious note.
I'll be over here when we need
Yeah.
to close.
He's the funny one, the French
just
one,
give
the
me
more
the-
sentimental one.
You give me that
Yeah, I got you. The Jeter. Okay. So on a more sentimental note, we've been both lucky enough to see these two from the beginning.
When he was sneaking a girl up to the top shelf and wouldn't tell anybody about it.
To watch some Netflix and stuff. But in all honesty, these two from the beginning have treated each other like best friends and have acted like a married couple in the good way. have truly treated each other like best friends, and they're each other's greatest ally and each other's biggest critic. But at the end of the day, they can always go back to each other, and they challenge each other and compliment each other like no other couple I've seen in a long, long time. So to that, it's something that's truly admirable, and something I think a lot of us in a relationship, who've been in a relationship, looking to be in a relationship, truly aspire to be. And to that, I hope for the future challenges in your life that you'll face together, and the future adventures that you have yet to see, I wish you two all the best, and I have nothing but the greatest admiration for the both of you.
Second.
So.